Hi, I'm David Kearn. I'm a painter and I'd like to welcome you to this video. So 2-point perspective is like double the fun of 1-point perspective. It's the same thing done twice, right? So if we take this this little street scene, right? If I just then the building that's right in the front, it's got two vanishing points.
Oh yeah, one to the right.
Because one's going that way,
up and
one's going that way, right? So if I start off by establishing where the horizon, that if things are horizontal, they're going to be the vanishing points are going to be on the horizon. That's going to give me quite a high horizon, so I'm going to just turn it round just for that.
Oh, because you want a lower horizon.
I was going to ask, why are you doing
so which means I can do a little bit of a taller building, right? Maybe I'll talk about 3-point perspective as well right at the end, because I got a little bit of space for that. Okay, so if I say, and I'm making this up, right? If you got a reference, of course, you can see where the vanishing points are. But if I say my vanishing point is on the edge of the paper, and by the way, there's nothing that says that the vanishing points have to be on your paper. In fact, on the one that you were looking at there, Linda, it's off the paper, right? Sorry?
It goes off the paper?
It can easily go off the paper. Yeah, it depends on the orientation of the building, right? You could have a building that's almost square onto you, in which case one vanishing point would be a long, long way off, and the other one would be kind of quite close in. In this case, the artist has sort of figured it out so that they've got it on both edges of the paper, right? But I just want to make sure that I'm clear. That is just a graphic construction, right? It doesn't ever have to be like that, right? Like your vanishing points are where they are. They're not on the corners of your paper simply for convenience all the time. So if I take that first building, it's going to have a vertical corner that I can see, isn't it, right? And then from the top of the building, I've got parallel lines. Well, they're parallel in reality. In our drawing, they're receding to a vanishing point, just like in our single point perspective, because it's just this. On its edge, right?
Yeah.
Just this is a dock. This is the side of a building. So the top of the building is going to go to the vanishing point. The bottom of the building is going to go to the vanishing point. So if I just draw the vertical for the back of the building, that tells me where the top of the building or the bottom of the building are going to stop. So the side of my building is going to be there. There it is, right? I can put the windows in and things such, but I'll do that a little later. But what I will do is I'll put the other side of the building in, because when I'm doing perspective, I always like to see like the cardboard boxes, right? You've got like cereal boxes or shoe boxes or something, because once you've got the squares, then you can start filling in and have fun with the drawing once you've got things laid out right. So I'm just going to complete this building, because the other side of it is doing the same thing, but it's going to a vanishing point over here. So once again, I can put in another vertical. So the top of my building goes to the vanishing point, the bottom of my building goes to the vanishing point, and hey presto, looks like a cereal box or a building. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing, isn't it, right? It's just a difference in scale, right? And then the windows do the exact same thing, right? Because the windows are just more, the tops and the bottoms of the windows are just more parallel lines, aren't they? They're parallel to the roof, they're parallel to the floor, right? They're all behaving the same way. So I can quite handily block some windows in too. Cool, eh? And I tend to do things freehand because they look a little higgledy. They don't look kind of like too engineered, right? I like them to look a little bit higgledy-piggledy. But I will point out one thing here, right here, and I don't want to go through the entire construction, but there is a construction for this if you want, right? But the thing is, if you think about it, this window that is further away is going to be smaller than this window, which is a little bit closer to you, right? So as things go further away, they bunch up and get smaller, right? Because they're further away from you, right? So whatever you do, make sure that this window looks a bit smaller than this window, right? And if there were a row of windows, then they would compress, right, as you go further away. But the thing is, in the way I'm doing it, I don't have to get too worried about it. But I just make sure I give the impression that the spacing is more tightly packed the further away it is. There's one other little neat thing that I've done here, right, is because I've brought my construction out from the I brought my construction to the edge of the building, right? That point on the edge of the building has to be, it's on this side of the building and it's on this side of the building too, because it's on the corner. So that means that my lines for the window on this side go into the vanishing point.
Yeah.
Right? If I use that, the windows are going to be at the right height, aren't they? Right? Because the floor is there, right? You wouldn't have one set of windows up here and another set of windows down here, right? So that just makes sure that I'm putting in my windows at the right place, right? Right, so I can now put in my windows on this side. They went a little bit different, didn't they? So that's just because me doing it freehand. So I'll just there we go. We got some. In reality, obviously, these windows would actually be